Joining me now, Luke Ball, Republican strategist, and Megan Hayes, former director of message planning for President Trump. Thank you very much. Luke, I'll start with you. Let's just talk about the economy right now, because that is, quite frankly, what Republicans are going to run on. Democrats, on the other hand, where do they stand when it comes to running up against Republicans, considering we've got the strong economy, like President Trump mentioned, gas prices are down, prices across the board are down compared to where they were under President Biden?
I want you to imagine that an arsonist lights a building on fire and then walks around behind that building, waits for the firefighter to show up, then comes around the other side of that building and blames the firefighter for not putting the blaze out fast enough. That's what the Democrats are doing to President Trump, blaming him for not putting out the mess that Joe Biden made fast enough. We know that inflation rose 20% under the Biden-Harris administration, that food prices skyrocketed to 22%, shelter skyrocketed to 23%. Meanwhile, I look at what consumers are doing under the Trump economy, a record-breaking 203 million Americans spending both online and in retail stores in between Cyber Monday and Thanksgiving Day, that period of time where you're Christmas shopping. That shows me that consumer confidence is up. So as we're looking toward the midterm elections, if Republicans hone in on this messaging and focus in on the things that are actually working for Americans, I feel pretty confident about our chances heading up into the midterm elections.
Megan, I want you to listen to former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi with her forecast for Democrats, and then have you react.
So if the Democrats win the House back?
Yeah, no, when? When the Democrats win the House back, then we will. I'm busy and focused on winning the House for the Democrats right now.
Yeah.
The Republicans in the Congress have abolished the Congress. They just do what the president insists that they do. That will be over.
So that ends as soon as you have a Democratic
That ends as soon as we have the gavel.
All right, I want you to take a look at this recent Quinnipiac poll, because it found just 18% of respondents approved of the job congressional Democrats are currently doing. And that's the lowest rating, Megan, since Quinnipiac began asking the question in 2009. The Real Clear Politics average finds 56% with an unfavorable view of the party as a whole. So what is Nancy Pelosi talking about?
Yeah, except the same polling shows that most Americans want Democrats to be in charge of the House. I think people want to check on Donald Trump, and I think that they want that to be Democrats having control of the House. I think it's great to talk about some of these policies and blame the Biden administration, but people don't feel like Trump and the administration and Congress are listening to them about their issues. There was a Wall Street Journal article out today that from the Energy Department itself said that electricity prices have rose 4.9% and are expected to rise another 4% next year. Tariffs have caused a massive, massive increase on people's bottom lines every single month. They can't afford things that they are trying to buy, like groceries and gas, and we can talk about how the prices are going down, but the American people are not feeling it. So Republicans need to change their tune, because Democrats are definitely on that message. They've outperformed in over 240 elections and down ballot initiatives since the 2024 election. So the American people are speaking that they do not want Trump's economic policies.
Luke, I would say that the people are seeing a decrease. I mean, the average gas price, $2.85 in some parts of the country. As far as what Megan refers to as far as the tariffs are concerned and overall prices, the president touts the tariffs for the lower prices. So which is it?
Well, first of all, I think energy prices were 3 times whatever that percentage Megan just listed were under the Biden administration. And so a fraction of the percentage that's going up right now, this is a portion of what Trump is doing to try and fix the economy. As I just mentioned, this is an enormous ship. I mean, if the Titanic were heading for an iceberg, the captain has started turning the ship away from it. And it takes a little bit of time, kind of like Scott Besson is saying, it takes a little bit of time in order for this economy to pull back. With the affordability messaging that the Democrats have right now, I think it's not going to come to fruition in their favor, because they continue to have an identity crisis as to what affordability actually means. There's a growing faction in their own party that says socialism is the answer, and that's the way we should go. And while the moderates are kind of being run over, they are the ones who are saying, no, we need to go in a different direction. So implementing any sort of messaging related to affordability is not going to go well for them in the upcoming election, because they're not in agreement on how to solve that issue.
Former Deputy Chief of Staff to George W. Bush, Karl Rove, has this take for the administration to shore up support for the midterms. Let's watch.
Going forward, they need to be thinking about talking about what they're doing and explaining it to the American people. I'm convinced that a large part of it is going to be patiently explaining what it is that he's done and explaining what it is that he wants to do, particularly with regard to health care, in a way that the American people can get their hand around it. But again, under promise and over deliver. Don't tell people the problem's already solved when they don't think it has been.
House Speaker Mike Johnson with a new opinion piece titled, House Republicans Had a Great Year. An excerpt. Even with the slimmest of congressional majorities and historic obstruction from Democrats, President Trump and Republicans have kept our promises, restored order, and laid the groundwork for an extraordinary new year. From the containing of the border crisis and stabilizing inflation to securing historic tax, trade, and peace deals. The best is yet to come. Megan, do you not believe that the best is yet to come? And can you acknowledge that prices are down? Energy prices in some places are up. Like, for example, the tri-state area. The energy prices here are certainly up, and that's why you've got Democratic lawmakers such as Governor Hochul, who's actually now getting on board to Trump's energy policies in order to bring them back down.
So I always am going to be an optimistic person and believe the best is yet to come in America, regardless of who is the president, just because I'm an optimistic person. But I do not believe that prices are down for most of Americans, and most Americans will tell you that. They do not feel like the Trump policies are working for them. They're losing manufacturing jobs. Millions of Americans in 3 days are not going to be able to afford their health care, and Republicans have done nothing to help solve the problem. They won't.
But Democrats are the one that stalled the Obamacare subsidies. So how is it that you're blaming Republicans for not being able to afford health care when it seems that Democrats are the ones that were pumping the brake on that, and not to mention responsible, partly responsible, hugely responsible for the government shutdown?
Well, that's your opinion. I don't think that's actually fact. I think that no one wanted to negotiate with Democrats. They put forth plans. They wanted to extend the subsidies for a year, 2 years, 3 years. Everything got shut down. But the fact of the matter is the proof is in the pudding. The Democrats won all of the elections in 2025. They won 2 moderate governor's races. They won places in Mississippi and in Georgia and in Pennsylvania. They won major places that are supposed to be Republican strongholds because the people don't believe that the economy is working for them, and that the proof is right there. People will tell you that. There are polling to prove that. And so I just think if Republicans want to continue down this path and Trump wants to get out there and call affordability a Democratic hoax, Republicans will continue to lose, and they will definitely lose in the midterms.
All right, that's all the time we have. But Luke Ball and Megan Hayes, we thank you both for coming on, and Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Thank you.